New Yorkers. And where we get it messed up is because, hip hop and New York are so intertwined and entangled, we tend to kind of like try to blend the two, and it's two separate things. Like, you got people from New York, some of these same tethers from New York actually envy that black male status, that black American male status, as far as, hip hop culture, the fitted hats, the style, the swag, and everything. So what they want to do is they want to have the one up on us. And I'm gonna tell you how the whole psychology works. We saw this the other day with the Dominican cat that came in, right? Like, they feel like they have what they want to feel like they have the one up on you because, yeah, you may be a black American, but you from Mississippi. I'm from New York. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm gonna tell you something, like, and this is common. Like, I've talked to a lot of people within Black America. We really don't care about New York like that. To be honest, I watched this whole thing flip. Like, I remember a time when, if y'all from down south, y'all feel me? I do remember a time when people from all regions, West Coast, like kind of wanted to emulate New York a little bit. But everything flipped. This whole thing flipped. You got New York, and this has been going on for years now. You got New Yorkers talking about, what's up, little mama? Using terms like fuck nigga. That's a down south term, my nigga. Anytime you say fuck nigga, shout out to my Georgia boys. That's some down south shit. Niggas in Georgia been saying that way back in the day, a long time ago. See, our culture is so popping, it's so astounding, it's so amazing that, you know what I mean? A lot of things that you hear these people saying right now, we've been saying this stuff years ago. I told y'all, I live in Wisconsin. Some of these white folks out here still wearing felines. I'm not joking. I know y'all think I'm bull. Yeah, they wearing fresh. They got a fresh pair of felines on.
Do they got troops? Are they wearing troops? A lot of y'all don't remember them troops back in the day.
Hey, can I get in on this a little bit? Hey, salute to the panel.
Hold on, Biggie. Hold on, Biggie. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm gonna let Trav finish, and I gotta let my man Virgil Berry speak. And after Virgil Berry, I'm gonna pass it to Big E.
Hey, Red, real quick. I got about 5 minutes. I don't want to cut Trav off, but let me get mine off real quick because I'm selling the house. I got somebody coming by to look at it, so I won't even take my full 5 minutes. I'm just get this in and out.
Go ahead,
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate it. Now I want to address some of the sideways comments I've been seeing that this topic is really bringing to light. First, you had someone try to claim that Yuck Mouth, which he was in your chat the other day. He tried to get on my helmet for not dropping the link. I didn't even see him, but he was in the chat. He wanted to speak on it, so I told him I got him next time. I'm gonna pass that along. But somebody said he wanted to give Fat Joe a pass. Now I was on his stream last night. No, but that ain't true. So let me set the record straight. I was on his stream last night discussing the same thing. What he said was that if Fat Joe got proof that Latinos helped create hip hop, he needed to put out his own documentary, to get his point of view across. And I say, yeah, if it's a fact, come with them receipts. Say this Latino, this Puerto Rican, this Dominican, did this. He threw the first party here, or he helped put this nigga on. I ain't seen that. So from the history I know, the facts I've been presented with, I'm gonna run with the my belief that FBA is created. It's just common sense. But okay, if you got a different point of view, come with the facts, and we'll weigh it out at that point. Now I've seen another nigga in the chat today that said, "Oh, Lord Jamar being stupid. Should blacks be living by candlelight since a white man invented the light bulb?" I think talking about Thomas Edison. Well, I got news for you, homeboy. It was actually one of Edison's servants, a black man, that actually perfected it. But of course, he got to take credit for it. I did a report on this way back in middle school, so I done my research on that too. So first of all, it's a stupid analogy because Jamar ain't even saying that y'all can't participate, but don't act like you invented it. We ain't gonna live by candlelight. First of all, black. I said a black man did invent it, and even if he hadn't, that's not the same thing. We ain't saying they can't take part. It's just pay homage to the creators. That's all I really want to say. I got to run, y'all. I might be back on later, but I'm gonna pass the mic with that.
Appreciate you, CJ. Go ahead, Trav. Finish your spiel, bro.
Y'all. And y'all just pipe down for a quick second. I'm gonna let everybody go in, but let me get some things off, man. The first thing I want to say is, yes, we do need to hold Matt Hoffa accountable because he chuckled and he laughed. And I'm telling y'all, most communication is nonverbal. That was a genuine chuckle. That was a genuine laugh. And I told you, New York is tricky. I've been in situations where I've been cool with brothers from New York, and I didn't realize that they were not, Black American, which it wouldn't have been a problem anyway. But once I realized that this person was Caribbean or Dominican, because a lot of Dominicans look just like us, my man said it, then I understand why we have a difference in ideology, and there's nothing discriminatory about us checking people's background. What's happening right now, y'all, is a lot of these tethers, are starting to panic because they don't want this to become the new normal. Like I'm literally training myself when I speak to people, and it's really not that hard because we do that in our culture. Anytime you meet an FBA, what's the first thing? Where you from, man? Where your people's from? We do that anyway. But now, we starting to be more diligent and serious about it because it does make a difference. So this is the thing, y'all. Like, as far as like that whole debate, all we need to do is double down on the facts. Like, I don't even think that we need to even put out another body of work. If someone wants to put out another documentary, cool. I encourage you to do so. But we shut them down with microphone check. I mean, it's the number. Not only was it accurate, just from a factual standpoint, you had the actual legends. You had the actual people that were involved on film saying what it was. So a big reason why they got upset about microphone check, y'all, is because understand something about film. That history is preserved. 200 years from now, you know what I mean? Because history does repeat itself. 200 years from now, when they try another reach, and they will, y'all, when they try to reach again and try to take hip hop from us, we got that documented. So what I want us to do is learn how to play the game. And I want FBA culture to be a culture of receipts. You know what I mean? Because people hate us so much to where we have to actually come with solid, tangible proof about our claims. We still got to argue the point that slavery had an economical effect on us when you have a well-written, filmed, and documented history showing that. So what I want you guys to do, and I'm talking to everybody, preserve your history. Even photo albums. I recently got some photo albums from my grandmother in Virginia. And I have a different appreciation for those things. And I'm going to preserve it. I'm going to treat it like it's delicate, because when people try to remove us from our spot, we need to be able to have some tangible proof of our claims, because people just hate us that much. I don't want it to be that way. I'm not trying to discourage my people, but people hate us that much to where we gotta be solid when we anytime we enter a debate and someone tries to remove us from our history. But I'm gonna pass it on to someone else. I just wanted to get that off. And yeah, we're gonna cook Matt Harper too. Like, we're gonna hold him accountable. We can't keep waiting for people to continue to fuck up. Fat Joe been fucking up. You know what I mean? So, but we not the baby boomers. We not the silent generation. No shade to them. But I want this millennial generation of FBAs to show them that this is the new Negro. This is something different. You know what I mean? This is something different. And another thing, y'all, I'm gonna send the video to Red. There's a brother that made a video, and he contacted all of Fat Joe's sponsors. So I would like to put that information out there. I guess I'll send Red the link to the video, but I want y'all to research who Fat Joe's sponsors are and make phone calls to those companies and send emails to those companies. You don't get to disrespect my people and get a bag no more. You don't. And I'm gonna say this to all the New York niggas, right? Man, shout out to Lord Jamar for being solid. And all these guys that we grew up watching, Nas, 50 Cent. 50 Cent, it seems like he's obsessed with he's pretty much obsessed with taking down other black folks. And I'm a huge 50 Cent fan. But I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna be the first to say it, 50 moving like a sucker. And to me, it looks like those small hats had a conversation with 50 Cent behind the scenes. And because he's the biggest buck. And they said, get on out there, boy. Get on out there, boy, and help Drizzy. Get on out there and help Drake out. That's what I got when I watched that Andrew Schultz interview with 50 Cent. So I want y'all to understand, we serious about this movement. No passes, and we putting our foots on their neck. And I'm gonna give it up to someone else for some commentary.
All right. I'm gonna pass it to Virgil Berry, then I'm gonna pass it to Big E. But Virgil Berry, you got it.
Yeah. What's up with y'all? How y'all brothers doing today, man?
What up,
Red was
Verge?
good.
Verge, what it
Trav
do?
was good. Big
Hey,
E was
hey,
good.
what up, Birds? How you doing, my
John
man?
James, what's up with you, big bro?
You got it.
Everybody in the chat, how y'all doing, man? I literally just was talking about this earlier, Red, about 4 or 5 hours ago, man. On the early side. And it's a guy on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? His name is Chico, black brother out of Miami, Florida, I want to say. He was speaking on this from the Latino side because he's half Cuban, half Puerto Rican, Jamaican, and black. So he's like a mixture of everything, you know what I'm saying? But he did a video earlier today that I was talking about, and yesterday. Basically he's saying, like, you know, he's saying, man, Latinos, we ain't have nothing to do with helping create hip hop. And I just say that to say, shout out to Chico, man. Shout out to that brother, man. I just saying that to say that when we talk about what we talking about, whether it be Tariq's platform, Red's platform, I heard Jap is even getting speaking on this on his platform now, whether it's me, my brother, Mr. O, whoever it is, right? When we talking about Latinos, as we say, we're not talking about all of y'all, man. Because like Chico, we know it's some of y'all who not only know the truth, but don't mind speaking it and saying it publicly at the risk of whatever you put in that scrutiny saying that. And we appreciate that. We are solely and specifically speaking to niggas like Fat Joe, niggas like Mav Hoffa, right? This is who we speaking about. When we're speaking about Latinos, we're not talking about all Latinos. We're talking about niggas like Fat Joe. You understand what I'm saying? For Math to let that dude come on his platform like that, you know, so y'all got to understand when we all be saying we ain't got no allies, we don't have any allies, man. Proof. Even the other black people who ain't FBA, even black people from around the world, prove it to it in our face at our jobs, on platforms, on social engineering. Everywhere we see, we ain't got no support from no Africans. We ain't got no support from black Latinos, for all like that, to even be real with you, or white Latinos. You know what I'm talking about? So we got to understand what we up against, which is even more better of a reason for us to support each other. And you know what, Red? I'm glad you spoke on that too, because I see it too. I'm a content creator. I starting to see brothers is rocking with each other, man. Starting to support each other, getting on code slowly but surely. There's still a lot of you fuck niggas out here, man. But slowly but surely, you understand what I'm saying? I see dudes getting on code. Shout out to Lord Jamar, man. And we need people like Lord Jamar with his influence to be doing what he's doing, and we need to be supporting him. You know what I'm talking about? It's high time that we straight up lock down, gatekeep our culture. If you ain't paying homage to FBA, to us who originated and created it, yeah, us. Don't hit us with that weak ass, oh, but it was them, not, it was our people, so it was us. God damn it. You know what I mean? And if they ain't paying homage, off with their head, no support. We ain't going to your shows. We ain't supporting your music. Producers, we ain't producing no tracks for y'all, because let's be real, the hottest producers in hip hop are mostly black. Right? And the ones that ain't, rock with the artists that's black. So to y'all artists out there, all these new up and coming fire producers, if they don't want to pay homage to FBA, get them out of here. And that's how we got to be straight on it like that, man, for real, because you see what happens when we be nice and welcoming to people. You understand what I'm saying? And these people come in here with these mindsets from the countries they come from, anti-black racism ingrained into their brains, they psyche, they live it, they breathe it, they low-key communists for real. And then they come up here in our country and they just look at us, look down their noses at us as if they better than us, while hijacking our swag and our culture and not paying homage for it. It's one thing to hijack and swag, the swag and the culture, and you paying homage. You know, like Chico did, man. You know, you paying respect, you being honest about the history and all that. And you want to know something that be getting me about a lot of y'all Latinos, especially out of New York, and Trav spoke on this too. New York, especially New York Latino, y'all ain't got no copyrights on hip hop. Y'all don't have no ownership over hip hop just because y'all from New York. Y'all, and that's another thing going into 2025, y'all. We gotta kill that mess too. Hey man, I got hella respect for New York, the whole entire state. I got people all over New York, from New York City to upstate, everything. And I got hella love for New York. We'll never live in y'all city because there's too many people there. I'm cool, right? But one thing I'm gonna say about you New York niggas, man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got to get these Latino dudes to be on this bullshit and other guys like Mav together, man. That's making us look weak as an FBA community, man. That makes us look weak. You hear what I'm saying, man? Say what?
Hey, Virgil, I love what you're saying, brother. I wanted to present something to you and see what you think about this, right?
Go ahead.
I want you to tell the people, and I want anyone else can pick up off of this. I don't mean to cut him, but I want you to explain to the people why this particular cancellation of Fat Joe is very important. Because, and I'm gonna say the reason why I feel it's important. We're starting to see that Fat Joe doesn't really have that much support from the Latino community, not as much as what he presented. I got a homeboy that's Puerto Rican, and he explained the difference between New York Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricans from the island. Puerto Ricans from the island, if you ask them who their favorite rap artist is, a lot of them will actually say Daddy Yankee, right? They rock with Daddy Yankee. When you talk about New York Puerto Ricans, that little demographic of the people who come from New York City, that hip hop culture, if you want to call it that, they support Fat Joe. So we can literally show these people the power of when we cancel you. You see what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have that much support as far as the people who support his music. A lot of Latinos ain't buying his music like that. So we can literally show how powerful it is when we cancel you. And the reason why I think that's important, Virgil, is because if we don't address this the right way, if Fat Joe can land on his feet, if Fat Joe can come out of this, if he can come out of this being all right, then we didn't do our job. It's time to cancel him completely. We got to contact his sponsors. Shout out to the new black media and the grassroots. We got to continue to make content like this. Now, look, Cuban Link came to our space. Young Mouth came to our space. Your head is growing. You cooking. I had a partner from New York tell me about, called me because he saw me on Red Show. Black American men, we are the in crowd. And what we have is we got haters around us that secretly have a disdain for us, but they play the game a little bit smarter than us as far as they'll hide their disdain. We real. A lot of times when you deal with an FBA man, we can't act like we don't like you when we don't like you. Most of us. It's going to come out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how niggas. But, and we look at it like that's fake anyway. But they have the ability to have a strong hatred and disdain for you and still get what they can get from you in the meantime and play the long game, and then they'll double back and railroad you later. So I didn't mean to cut in, brother. Just, want to see what you.
Nah, you good, Trey. You good. It's all good.
I'm gonna let Virgil finish his spiel, and I'm gonna
wrap it up. I just wanted to say, y'all dudes from New York, man, y'all making us look weak for real, man. Y'all gotta be held accountable for that. And on top of that, just because you from New York, whether you Puerto Rican, black or not, that y'all ain't got no stronghold on hip hop. Hip hop was just established there as what we know it to be today. It wasn't created there. It wasn't birthed there. Y'all ain't got no more ownership on it than us or anybody else. We own it collectively. My people come from down south. Your people come from down south at some point. So with that being said, I think going into 2025, we need to go ahead and cut that out because that's one of the main things that's going to keep the division amongst us when we don't need that. Hip hop is all of ours, not just you niggas in New York, and damn sure ain't you Latino niggas in New York.
New York,
you know what I'm talking about?
Nah, we gonna say it like that,
yeah,
bro.
but see what happened.
New York is not the home of hip hop. It's not.
Go ahead, Big E. You got it, Big E.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the problem was, it's kind of like I'm going to piggyback off what Bird said. The problem was, to me, New York artists felt that hip-hop that didn't come up out of New York was whack. Therefore, people like Fat Joe, because he sounded like y'all let him get away with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like anything that's outside of New York is heavily scrutinized, whether the artist was black or not. But if somebody looked like Fat Joe, he sound like, you know, he got that New York sound. Y'all accepted that. You know what I'm saying? So once hip hop went outside of New York, y'all feel like y'all are the ultimate truth. Now it's like, dude, everything that come up out of New York ain't fire. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all put a lot of whack shit out
Are we
here.
forgetting the elephant in the room? I'm gonna shut
Go
up.
ahead, Trav.
Are we forgetting the elephant in the room? New York is copying every other region. Do y'all see these New Yorkers, the younger New Yorkers trying to copy Chicago drill culture? Do y'all remember when the South snatched hip hop from New York and brought it back to its rightful place?
Well, that was the West Coast. That was the West Coast. The West Coast took
Yeah, but let me finish though. Let me finish.
Hold on. Y'all just said the West Coast did what? Because what I'm saying is wrong. Tell me what's right.
Well, not to get off subject, but if we're gonna be fair, how hip hop went,
Go ahead.
the West Coast took it over and took it to a new level. And the reason is because
You
like
understand what I'm saying? Like I remember that era when the West Coast hip hop travels from region to region. What I'm talking about is that era where, because I know what you mean. The West Coast had it. Houston had their time. Florida had their time. Hip hop.
Hey, yo, Trav, let me finish my spiel, champ. Y'all going into a whole nother conversation.
Go ahead, Biggie.
That was John Jay. Go ahead, though.
Go ahead,
Okay,
Biggie.
so what I was saying, once rap got outside of New York, that was New Yorkers that was saying everywhere else was whack. So y'all opened the door for these other people. All they had to do was sound like they was from New York. You know what I'm saying? And they was in, like, Pun had a couple of hits, bro. Pun wasn't like, bro, if you put in Capital Punishment, it's maybe 2 or 3 songs I'm gonna listen to. I'm skipping the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So to me, y'all the ones, New Yorkers who start. You remember when KRS-One bought in Shabba Ranks? That was a quick fad. You know what I'm saying? He left just as fast as he got here. The music didn't take. You know what I'm saying? But as long as y'all thought that everywhere else was whack, y'all left room for all these tellers to come in to hip hop. Again, all he had to do was sound like you, emulate you. Now you got dudes like Wack Joe thinking that they one of you. You know what I'm saying? He actually think he's a legend. Y'all let him think he's a legend. That wasn't us. Wasn't nobody out here bumping no Fat Joe like that. Wasn't nobody even out here bumping Pun like that. It was a couple of songs. Just because you make a couple of good songs, that don't mean you dope. A lot of people think that what's his name, RZA, Jizza, whichever one is a dope producer, but Bobby Digital is the wackest hip hop album ever. You know
I don't agree with you on that, Biggie. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Bobby Digital was whack.
Hold on, let Biggie, because a lot of times when everybody come in, they kind of start borging and shit like that. But go ahead, Biggie.
Yeah, you know, so it you know what I'm saying? It was whack, bro. You know what I'm saying? So all these other people, you know, all they had to do was be from New York. All of you brothers in New York was going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever, if he had your sound, y'all was going to accept it. Now you look at it, all of those people that y'all let in, y'all thought y'all was cool with, is now saying, nah, we helped co-create it. Now they feel like they could openly disrespect you because you were so opening and accepting to it. Another example, there is no way in hell Tekuchi Snitch 9 was supposed to have a career. That nigga was a whole act, a whole fad, a nigga with rainbow hair. But y'all paraded that nigga around. You know what I'm saying? Now look at what happened. All them niggas that was backing that nigga, now all them niggas is in jail and he out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all invited these people into hip hop. We didn't invite these people into hip hop. And now y'all trying to say, oh, well, this is New York. Nah, bro, hip hop is all over. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep saying everything was in New York when y'all done had groups called Boys in the Hood, like Trav say. If you black, the culture is ours. You not gonna say you didn't take nothing from down south or out west, because you remember all of a sudden, once NWA came out, and all of a sudden everybody want to be gangsters. So now you took that from them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't rapping about gang banging. Y'all was talking about street stuff, but you wasn't talking about gang banging on the level like it was on the West Coast. Now all of a sudden you want to take credit for that. Oh, well, Cool G Rap was, man, shut up. How you gonna say gangster rap ruined hip hop, but Cool G Rap was the first gangster rapper? Did he ruin hip hop? See, this is what I'm saying, bro. Y'all want to take credit for it. It's like y'all want to be the sole regulators of hip hop, but you didn't regulate when all them tethers was coming in. When all them tethers came in, they just came in, and now they trying to say you niggas ain't the legends. Now they trying to say you got everything from them. This was y'all fault. You know what I'm saying? Now we all fighting this battle now because y'all let them tethers in, because now, oh, we was all in the Bronx together. We was all lit, nigga, like the racism wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? So y'all started this by letting all these other people in, and now you got people who didn't create it feel like they could tell us, even though we wasn't from New York, but we still foundational Black Americans. Now you got people who ran from other countries trying to tell us about hip hop and trying to tell, oh, well, you ain't from New York, you can't say nothing about it. Well, nigga, you didn't create it. You ain't even from the United States, nigga. So how the hell you trying to tell me what the hell I could speak on and you ain't even from New York? Your parents just so happened to slip through the cracks. So a lot of this was y'all fault. In New York, y'all didn't gatekeep the culture. Y'all wanted to be mad at the West. Y'all wanted to be mad at down south, but y'all wasn't even regulating that shit at home. And I'm gonna pass it with that.
Oh, that was so 100. Before I pass it, that was so 100. And shout out to my New York brothers that's standing on business, but they didn't regulate it. They allowed a lot of tethers. Well, because I'm from New York, I'm hip hop. You even had China Mac saying, I'm from New York, I'm hip hop. Shut up, fool. It didn't come from your people. Shut the hell up. So they allowed a lot of people to feel like they was hip hop just because they was from New York and they didn't regulate those tethers. Now you got tethers in New York City disrespecting the legends, making it seem like the legends don't know what they're talking about. So they allowed a lot of this disrespect. I gotta agree with that.
And Red, look, if somebody said that the New York gate, no, you didn't give nobody on the West Coast swag, nigga, because just remember, y'all used to make fun of niggas' Jerry curls. You remember y'all wasn't rocking Jerry curls in New York. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't doing the lowrider thing. Y'all wasn't doing nothing about when NWA came out. Y'all see what we was doing. That had nothing to do with New York. We wasn't rapping like y'all. We wasn't wearing, we didn't have no style like y'all, nigga. We had on starter hats, starter jackets, nigga, Chuck Taylors. Nigga, we had our own swag. We had our own style of rap. You remember, y'all didn't even like our style of rap, nigga. So how the hell you gonna say you gave us any kind of style? Yeah. Nigga, y'all started wanting to be boys in the hood. Now all of a sudden, y'all went from rapping like EPMD, Run DMC, KRS-One. Now all of a sudden, y'all niggas want to be NWA. Y'all started taking swagger from other parts of the country, nigga. Puffy even had a group called Boys in the Hood. Puffy started coming to LA. They started coming to LA and filming videos up there on Venice Beach, nigga. Y'all started putting lowriders in y'all videos. What you mean? Nigga, y'all started coming to the West Coast to film videos, bruh. So don't tell us you gave us no swag. You didn't give us no swag. We wasn't even living the same. West Coast wasn't like y'all, just like, I mean, with all that, y'all was cool with the Boricuas and all that. It wasn't like that out here. So don't say y'all gave us anything. You remember, y'all was clowning us at first. Then when NWA went up the charts, now all of a sudden it's, oh, well, we was the first one. Man, shut the hell up. Well, again, y'all didn't want to regulate in New York. Now you want to think you can regulate outside of it? Man, stop.
They would say, oh, man, well, what niggas on the West Coast doing? That ain't hip-hop, son. And they said the same thing about the South. Like, the South brought their own swagger and culture. The South brought the gold teeth in. They brought their own little style. So FBAs, we all got our swagger from, and styles from different regions, but we all FBA people. And that's what's so beautiful about it, because FBA people, we got our own lingo and swagger, just depend on what region of the country you in, man. But let me, CJ Rich, are you there?
Yeah, homie. I just had before you pass it, I had a quick question. because you brought up China Mac. Didn't they give him a pass to say nigga? Don't he be saying nigga in his interviews?
Yeah, they gave him a pass to say that.
And that's all you need to know, man. To back up Big E's point, they did not gatekeep the shit. They rather hate on FBAs out west, or back in the early 90s when we took the game over, but they ain't checking immigrant. I mean, the nigga's name is China Mac. Clearly he ain't FBA. That's just wild to me. I just wanted to back up that point. That's crazy that y'all having a Chinese man call you nigga. But y'all got it.
Bro, that's real, bro. That's real spit, bro. They had all this I don't really want to say animosity, but they had all this criticism on people that was rapping outside of New York, like, oh, Red, it's just like I told you with Wu-Tang. Now, NWA came out. A lot of people in New York said NWA ruined it, but then Wu-Tang come out, literally say the exact same stuff NWA was talking about, but then they become the greatest hip-hop group ever. Oh, no, it's just the way that they said it. Man, shut the hell up. You can't regurgitate something that was already said and then say you the greatest at it. Get the hell up out of here.
Well,
remember when the magazines like The Source used to have a big influence over how people saw shit? They would always give more props to the East Coast, the New York artists, and shit on the West Coast and down south.
Well, yeah, that's true. And what Big E is speaking to is 100% true. It's called a New York frame of mind. That's just how New Yorkers are. And other coasts, like the West Coast, would always give props to New Yorkers and play their stuff out there on the West Coast radio. But in New York, you wouldn't get no spins if you wasn't from New York, and that led to a lot of what became the East Coast West Coast beef was basically off of that. And it's true. I mean, I'm from out there. I'm from New York, and that's just how New Yorkers are. You ain't from New York, they ain't gonna really respect it, especially back then when it came to rap. And it wasn't until like NWA and all them, they brought their culture, the West Coast culture, into music, and they sold way more records than East Coast rappers. Even though it started on the East Coast, the West Coast elevated. That's what they used to say back in the early 90s. Yeah, it might have started in the East Coast, but we elevated that, and they sold way more records. And jealousy, of course,
but look, what about the fact that New York rap artists copy rap artists from other regions? It's been a long time since we got like that real East Coast New York style of hip hop. Like after 50 Cent, like around 03, 04, 05, you don't remember that shift where you started getting a lot of down south artists becoming bigger than New York artists, and there was a void in New York for a while. You know what I mean? New York, I watch New Yorkers emulate West Coast hip hop artists. I watch them emulate Chicago drill culture. There's a whole bunch of artists in New York that emulate Chicago drill culture. You know, to me, New York is trendy, and they ride the wave of whatever's hot. I'm not saying that some original things didn't come out of New York, but you're not going to get too much originality out of New York because New York is a melting pot. You know what I mean? Atlanta, Georgia is more cultured than New York City. No disrespect to New York City. New York,
maybe now, definitely what you're saying now, but when it all originated, it was New York culture. People rocking Kangos.
Big dog. What about this part? When, again, I'm Old Testament. When the New York rap, especially in the 80s and the early 90s, like on the West Coast, we embraced KRS-One. We embraced LL Cool J. We embraced Run DMC, E-Double. We embraced all of that, right? Like, you had us out here, or they had us out here rapping, singing, and dancing like them, right? But then soon as it shifted to the West Coast, we got a lot of hate and vitriol. Oh, them niggas don't know how to rap. We didn't get the same, we didn't get embraced the way we embraced. And I heard somebody say, I am from the West Coast, but bruh, probably 6 or 7 out of my all-time top 10 rappers is from the East Coast, champ. I was there when rap came out. I don't know. To me, it ain't a group better than EPMD. You know what I'm saying? I think Heavy D is an underrated artist. You get what I'm saying? We all know. So It ain't got nothing to do with that. What I'm saying is New York did not embrace the rest of the country when it came to hip hop.
They did
Well,
not.
that's a fact.
That's correct. That's a fact.
That's
You're right.
that's a fact. You can't debate what he just said. And I'm explaining to you it was jealousy is why they didn't embrace. And that's a New York frame of mind because the West Coast had taken over and they sold more records than what was being sold on the East Coast. I mean, Snoop come out, he sold millions. That whole Death Row movement they sold way more records, and it was then with MC Hammer. I remember he had that "Turn This Mother Out," and he said on the song, "Yo, he ain't from New York, so they ain't gonna play him." And then he was like, "I don't care where you from." And then he used a Run DMC sample. New York went crazy. Oh, he trying to diss, New York, whatever. But yeah, it was a jealous.
More numbers. You're right. A lot of people don't acknowledge that. Death Row came out. Death Row was doing more numbers than all those.
Well, Hammer was doing more numbers even before Death Row even got off the ground. But he had beef with he had beef with New York. But like I was saying, it's called like a New York frame of mind. Okay, we created hip hop. Yeah, we more about lyrics. Y'all about telling stories about and it shouldn't have been that. It should have been we all come together. But New York got to take the blame for that because they wouldn't play.
I got a question for the West Coasters though, right? Okay, so I agree with that. I saw that. Like New York actually consumed a lot of West Coast music, but when it came time to like award shows, when it came time to give credit and pay homage, New York would shit on all these other regions. So my question for the West Coast is this, right? What do you guys think about how they adopted that gang culture? And they didn't adopt that gang culture because it was a necessity. New York, I told you guys, New York is so trendy. They copy fads so much that they took on that gang culture, and it wasn't necessarily something they had to do. Now, I do understand the story about the Bloods and what took place with the Latinos in the prison system and everything like that. But it's like, how can they copy West Coast gang culture? You got dudes from New York talking about they rolling 60s. Ain't never been on 60th Street. You know what I mean? Ain't never been out there. Talking about they Paru. Ain't never been on Paru. So I just want to know how some of the brothers from the West Coast feel because they do copy stuff from other regions. Not only the West Coast, they definitely copied a lot of stuff from the South because, of course, the FBAs that created New York came from the South, so you can't deny that. The people who created it came from the South and relocated to New York City. They definitely copy West Coast culture because you see it with the gangbanging and also some of the terms they use. You had a lot of West Coast artists. I mean, you had a lot of New York artists that used to copy like the, how you guys would have the lowriders. And I forgot the name of the car, but like the cars that you guys use in the West Coast, I would see a lot of that being implemented in New York rap artist videos. So I just want to hear from some of the brothers from the West Coast. How do you feel about that? And my thing is this. I believe that we have the power to dethrone them. What do y'all think about that? I think that as soon as we say that New York is not the home of hip hop as FBAs, New York is no longer the home of hip hop. If we declare it.
Well, I hear that, Trav, but I don't know if I agree with that too much.
No.
The thing is that here's the thing, bro. If you took some West Coast culture, we don't have no problem with that because if we all FBAs, we take from New York, we take from the South, as well as the South take from the East Coast and West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We all supposed to be taken from each other, right? But it's just like I said, the problem was, at least in the 90s, that the New Yorkers felt that if it didn't come from New York, it was whack. And that's where the terms like East Coast bias and all this kind of stuff came from, because it's like, well, if it came from New York, then it has to be dope because we're the Mecca of hip hop, but everybody is going to do hip hop according to their region. Okay, on the West Coast, it was a gang culture out here, so the music reflected that. Down south, it was, the Southern hospitality, the what their lifestyle is down there, so it came out in their music. And what it seemed like New York was saying, oh no, that's whack. Okay, bro, this is the culture. New York culture was what it was. You know, people, you remember in the early 90s, everybody was gathered around the cipher kicking their bars. So everybody was like, ooh. But then when they showed you the West Coast and the South, the culture when it came to rap, oh, that's whack. Oh, that ain't nothing. Oh, nah, we better than that. It's like, dude, come on, man.
Hey, let me respond to that too, Trav, because I ain't from LA. I'm from Northern Cali, but I'm out west. So my opinion, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That shit is whack, and I can't respect it. I ain't no gang. I ain't never been. I am not gang. We don't do that in the Bay Area. We rep our turf. But on that same note, how you gonna represent a hood you never even been to? That don't make no sense to me. Like you said,
how productive is that, brother? Not to cut you off, but how productive is that? How productive is that for them to take that? And the streets in New York are real enough. I'm not trying to play New York. So the streets in New York are real. They're real enough already. Is that going to help them trying to implement that? Not California. I'll say that Los Angeles gang culture. Them trying to implement that into their culture. It's counterproductive.
No, that's one of the, and no disrespect to anybody who been down or still doing their thing, but that's one of the most destructive things that you could have borrowed. We had all kind of other shit going on out here. Like you said, they lifted the car culture we got out here.
Hold on.
With that.
CJ, but I got to say this real quick. Now, overall, gang culture is counterproductive, but the Bloods of New York City started out of protection of the black race. Now, eventually, when like what happened was the Bloods end up taking over the jails and prisons. So New York City, them becoming Bloods, was basically a form of protection. And once they started to dominate, then even a lot of Blood sets turned on each other. But they started the Bloods of New York to protect themselves against the Ricans and all the other groups that was on the island. So that's why it was started, though.
Red, what about the rolling 60s, Red? My thing is this: I understand the blood thing, but how do we get in a situation where you got multiple West Coast, multiple Los Angeles gangs are in New York now, not just the Bloods. Yeah. I know about the non-Trey Bloods. I grew up around a lot of non-Trey. Yeah.
Well, somebody got to be Crip. If you got Bloods, somebody got to become Crips. And the Bloods was oppressing. The Bloods in New York City was oppressing everybody who wasn't Blood. So the Crips in New York had it bad. Like the Crips in New York had it real bad, bro. So I gotta respect them. They was outnumbered, and it was just that. So wherever you got Bloods, you gotta have Crips. So it was just like that. Like if you wasn't Blood, if you was black and you wasn't Blood in New York, they was pressing you. They was taking your phone time, taking your commentary. So what happened was when the Bloods took over the prisons in New York, they started oppressing other blacks who didn't want to be Bloods, and that's how the Crips came about in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the only thing. The only frustrating thing about
talking about Wu-Tang, right? I mean, talking about NWA, how they don't listen to NWA in New York. That's fine, but you can't get mad when we tell you we don't listen to Wu-Tang either. Like on the West Coast, we don't think Wu-Tang is the greatest group ever. We don't think that. See, this is what I'm saying. A lot of New Yorkers think that they could tell the rest of the country how to listen to rap music, and you can't. Just because you think that they were the best rap group ever, nobody else has to think that. The problem is y'all think your opinion on music is the be-all, end-all. It's about who makes the best music. And back then, it wasn't no internet. NWA was moving all the units. That's a fact. Death Row and them was moving all the units. That is a fact. So it didn't matter what y'all thought. The rest of the country was buying it up. Especially back then, because if they was going to spend $20 for that album or $20 for that CD, that should tell you what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Just because y'all think that it came from your area, that don't mean it's good. If you think it's good, okay, cool. Red, you don't have to think what I think, right? But then you can't tell me who is dope either, though. If I don't think Wu-Tang is the best group, nigga, who are you to tell me that I'm wrong?
Quick question for you, Biggie. I gotta ask you a question. So Tupac Shakur was actually born in New York. A lot of people don't know that. Some do. He was originally from New York. But Tupac said himself, we got this on film. He said that in New York, he learned a lot about flavor, style. He learned a lot about all the trendy shit. Tupac said he didn't learn the game until he went to the Bay. And I think that that's significant because the Bay don't get enough credit for this. the Bay is a stronghold for foundational Black Americans as far as that's where the Black Panther Party was cultivated in the Bay, right there in Oakland. Some of our best riders come from the Bay Area. And Tupac, a brother that actually was born in New York, actually came from New York, said that he chose to rep the Bay because he learned the game in the Bay. So,
hey, real shit. As a down south brother, I'm the Bay Area resident. You know what I mean, on the panel, so I got to speak on that. I appreciate you giving us our flowers for that, man. The Bay is very underrated, like you said. Black Panthers and just a whole different culture and style, man. If y'all ain't been out here, come visit, man. I know San Francisco falling off. Oakland is what it is, but come get a taste. Come get a taste of this Bay Area game, man. You ain't never gonna have your shoes placed like you could get it in the Bay. And as a final point, let me put a bow on what Trav was talking about with the gang banging. I would have rather they okay, so Latin Kings and shit riding down on y'all in prison. Understood. Y'all got to organize. Y'all got to group up. I would have rather they had something like more like the Black Panthers or even the Muslims to fight back against that instead of adopting the Bloods. Like I said, that's the LA thing, and Red said it right. If you got Bloods, you're gonna have Crips. So I think that was destructive. It would have been better just to have like a FBA Black Panther type movement instead of doing Bloods, because that divides even blacks against blacks. But y'all, that's all I got to say on it.
And let me be clear, I'm not trying to disrespect. LA. Hold on, I want to make something clear. I got to clear myself out. I'm not trying to disrespect LA gang culture, but what I'm saying is we already lost a lot of soldiers, a lot of strong, physically inclined Black men. You got brothers from LA right here. We got a brother from Compton, Big E. We got my nigga Red out of South Central. They got friends that they lost. I know that for a fact. These guys have lost friends. A lot of strong, physically inclined Black men that would have been soldiers, riders for this FBA cause are dead and gone because of that. So I'm still cool with dudes who gang bang. I'm gonna keep it funky with you. But what I'm saying is we got to start being more productive and respond to things in a way that's productive and not counterproductive. I understand what them brothers went through in New York, but I want y'all to see that the root of the issue was oppression from another group. The Latinos oppressed the brothers. And look at the cause and effect. It turned into a situation where it ended up being detrimental for us because contrary to popular belief, they gang banging like a motherfucker in New York City now. So all I'm saying is we need to figure out a way to fix that and resolve that. And I'm gonna give it to somebody else. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say just respect. Like, okay, it's a dude in the chat that said nobody from New York is on the panel. Hey, bro, that's on y'all. If somebody from New York would have hit the link, then it would be somebody up on the panel. But again, the problem is when it came to hip hop in the beginning, once rap started going outside of New York started becoming too hypercritical of everybody else. And it's like, bro, now you see, now that we in it all together, now that you see what the takeover move was, you see what I'm saying? You should have been saying, well, nah, them is still brothers out west. I mean, rap was always normally what the urban, like whatever your situation is in your city, in your neighborhood, people rapped about what was going on outside their door. You've seen Nas make videos inside the projects, on the stairwells in the projects, and was rapping about what was going on in New York. Okay, in the South, when the South, got it, they started rapping about what was going on in their neck of the woods. Out west, we was rapping about what was going on in our neck of the woods. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like, it didn't get embraced. I mean, because really look at T.I. and them. T.I. been going in on New York for damn near since he been out. No, you remember when Andre 3000? No, the South got something to say. So it's like, okay, bro, like it's like you were hypercritical of everybody else that was rapping because it didn't come from out the East. And so now you got a bunch of tethers trying to say, well, no, we was in New York with them FBAs. And it's like, well, see, now look at what y'all started. You know what I'm saying? You started this. You let all these other people feel like they could be welcome in. You let all these other people feel like they can call you niggas. You know what I'm saying? Because Takuchi did the same thing. Oh, these niggas this, these niggas that. These people ain't even black. But who was he around? Jim Jones and all them Treyway dudes, right? They allowed all that to happen, right?
And Biggie is causing a divide because some of these mainstream artists from New York, some of the guys we grew up listening to, they'll rock with a non-FBA on some New York shit before they rock with another FBA on some black shit. And that's my issue. The black FBAs in New York should be rocking with FBAs instead of rocking with people from these other groups, because those people from those other groups, we know what they're going to do when it's all said and done, if they get in a position of power. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Solo Dolo. Hey, this ain't no anti-New York, bro. We love New York, bro. Didn't you just hear me say that 6 or 7 of my top 10 rappers come up out of New York? I mean, it's like, come on, bro, but you can't be above the criticism. Like if you on the East Coast say, you know, you had your criticism of you saying NWA and gangster rap ruined hip hop, okay, you could have that criticism, but you can't get mad when people have their criticisms back, champ. Like, that's just part of the game. Everybody loves New York the pantheon of rappers. I would say probably over 50% of them is probably from New York specifically. So, you know, it's not no bash New York thing, bro, because we all used to wear cross colors. We all wore FUBU, Fat Farm. You know, we all love the music, the trends, the came out of New York. We loved all of that. We still do. But at the same time,
out the elephant in the room, though. The elephant in the room, and shout out to homegirl in the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is the fact that for the last 20 years, FBA has been migrating back down south from New York. That's the reason why you're seeing a lot more tether shit in New York. I'm from South Carolina. Most of my family from New York, a lot of them relocated down south in the southeast, the Carolinas, Virginia, a lot of them in Atlanta. If you go to Atlanta, it's a lot of New York. If you go to South Carolina, it's a lot of New Yorkers, especially in my city in Charleston. So I got a homeboy that actually told me, he said, if you see an FBA in New York now, you know he FBA because a lot of times they're often by themselves. So you still have FBA in New York, but that population is not as strong as what it used to be.
Hey, Red, real quick, Trav, excuse me. Hey, Red, I think it's somebody named Black Samurai and Charles Irby. I think they asking for the link.
Come get this work. Come on up.
Yeah, I'll drop it right now. So go ahead and finish y'all spill. I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah, let's get all these different perspectives. I want to see what a New Yorker got to say about it, because I don't think the criticism is unfair. To me, that's female behavior. You can't say nothing negative. Like I said, I told you, the bad parts about West Coast culture as I see it. Nobody is above criticism. We just got to have a fair argument. So I can't wait to see the New Yorkers get up here. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Yeah. I'm from down south, and I got my criticisms of the south. I'm from down south, and I got my criticisms of the south. But go ahead.
Yeah, bro, that's all. I mean, that's all it is. We should be able to have this kind of conversation. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying, bro. It's just like with the music. It's like people try to tell you how you should listen to music and what your criticism should be instead of just listening. Hey, I think my man at the bottom, I think I was on the panel with him yesterday with 5/5. Salute to that gentleman right there, because you know this, of course, has been a hot topic. So, and my man is from New York. I can't see his name with the Brooklyn over his face. I was on a panel with him last night. Salute to that gentleman. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know this ain't no disrespect. So we just talk. So a lot of dudes that be in the chat, when Red dropped the link, why don't y'all never hit the link instead of leaving them dumbass comments in the chat? Why don't you come up and state your position unless you just want to troll? We not up here trolling. We just calling it from the way we see it. Trav calling it the way he see it. CJ, Red, we just calling it the way we see it. And like I said, one of the things is I think a lot of these tethers got comfortable around the New York FBAs because New York was so critical of rappers outside of New York. So if you was a Puerto Rican and you was from New York and you rap, it seems like you would have been more accepted than a black rapper from down south. Now that's the way it's
Absolutely not.
But
Let me
hold
jump
on,
in here.
hold on, brothers. Hold on, brothers.
Let me jump in, please.
I gotta bring up. Hold on, brothers. I gotta bring up us. He from Brooklyn, so I gotta bring up us. You got it, Brooklyn. Go ahead, brother.
From New York too, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, brother. You got it. Us. You got it. Go ahead, bro. You got it.
Unmute your mic.
Yeah, unmute yourself. Us. You got it. You know, I want to hear a New York perspective.
Oh,
so
you mean
got it.
no? Oh no, that's not us. That's the American flag. Salute. This is not easy.
Okay. You got it. You got it.
Quiet.
So first of all, salute to every. Pardon me.
I said whoever the other guy was, I said he got to be the most solid New Yorker I ever met in my life. But go ahead. You go ahead, bro.
All right. Salute. First of all, salute to everybody that's lucky enough to be born FBA, the greatest black ethnic group to ever walk the planet. So now understand where we at right now. We got a stream title, Fat Joe, Dominicans, and all of that. Last thing we need is FBA set tripping. We don't need that right now. Okay. As far as the FBA, let me put y'all on to FBA in New York, because that's me. FBA bounced out of New York from the mid '90s. Okay, everybody that retired from the MTA, 9X, and all of that, they went back down, and then they started flooding Atlanta, North Carolina, and stuff like that. So the black people you see in New York today are not FBA by and large. FBA in New York is aging out. So when we say New York FBA, they left 20 years ago, and there's some people in the chat saying that too. But what I want to say is that, look, if you understand hip hop, whether New York was arrogant about it or not, that is hip hop. Hip hop is arrogance. Hip hop is swag. Hip hop is the attitude that we as Black Americans had to adopt coming out of slavery and Jim Crow. But you think I ain't shit? Nah, this is what I am. I'm the best. So, and that's what pushes the culture forward. And I'm from Brooklyn, but I was rocking with NWA, rocking with Eazy-E. When I was 15, I was listening to Eazy-E and then understanding his lyrics for the most part when he was talking about SCX, but I was still rocking with Eazy-E. We was rocking with all of that. So don't think that we didn't respect the West and the South, because the South is the mecca of FBA. And, you know, there's some, I see because of the Fat Joe shit that there's a lot of anti-New York rhetoric. And let it be anti-New York rhetoric, but don't let it be anti-FBA rhetoric. Because while I love y'all like my brothers, on the West Coast right now, y'all got Belizeans, Bloods and Crips banging on y'all. Okay, in the South, they got all kind of tethers running around in Miami, Atlanta. So it is an invasion nationwide, and everybody think it's open season on us. And the last thing we need to be doing is blaming fingers at who did this and who did that. I'm gonna close with this, brothers. When it's wartime, we all know who are the belligerents. So let's aim at them and stop aiming at each other. Salute and peace.
Salute.
I think people
Analytics, brother. That's all. We just need some analytics.
Hold on, real quick. Let me let Gold P pull up, because I got Gold P. Gold P. I want to hear what Gold P got to say, and we're gonna pass it around. Oh, and then we're gonna let Gold P go. Hold on, we're gonna let Gold P go. Then we're gonna bring up Black Samurai. But go ahead, Gold P.
Hey, what's happening? Can you guys hear me?
Salute.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, look. Hey, I appreciate the conversation, man. I just came up here to address the chat, man. You know, hey, you guys see, I'm aggressive with that work, man. You know, make sure we keep the stream going and able to keep it up, you know, so it don't become a dropped stream. So to the chat, man, you know, you guys calm down. You know, hey, we can have a conversation, but all those full caps and all that profanity and all that, man, that's gonna affect the stream, man. That's all I came up to say, man. You know, hey, let's keep the conversation and all that, but hey, be respectful. That's all I'm saying. Hey, you guys know about the business. You guys know about the business.
Hold on, real quick. I appreciate Gold P for regulating the chat, because certain things I can't see, especially when I'm up here moderating, you know, the people that's talking. So I need brothers like Gold P. If you're using profanity in my chat, you gotta go, man. And there's no reason for you to do that. You can get your point across without using profanity and being disrespectful in my chat. So much love to Gold Professor for regulating that. We need brothers like him. But I want to bring up Black Samurai because I want to hear what he got to say.
All right, man. I catch y'all, man. I'm back in the chat.
Hey, salute
All
to
right,
Black
gone.
Samurai too, bro. Just 'cause we could have a difference of opinion, though, and that's all good, y'all. We not robots, so the dialogue, long as it's respectful, we good. So the people that don't really come up here, salute to y'all, champ. Salute to y'all.
It's all good. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? It's to me, I've been a lifelong hip hop fan. You know what I'm saying? I've been a hip hop fan since the beginning, since I was young in the mid 80s. And I've been listening. And, you know, people got a lot of stuff confused because a lot of stuff from New York, you got a difference. It's called commercial rap and you got real rap, the underground rap. The underground rap, there was nothing but FBA rappers. I'm not going to sit here and try to sugarcoat it. You had a few in the late 80s until the mid 90s. Then you started seeing other cultures starting to come in. But I could say from 1985, from the early 80s, from 85 to 88, and then you got from 89 to 91 to 93, it was really just all FBA. So I don't understand what all these other people talking about all is other cultures. And then when you want to talk about the West Coast, you know, I'm a fan of West Coast too, even though I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Too Short. I was listening to the Spice One, you know what I'm saying, from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to most of those rappers when even the East Coast cast was even making fun of me when I was a child listening to West Coast. So I'm a fan of hip hop first. It's just that, you know, people want to, you know, put their little flag on hip hop and forget the history. You know, then I think Tariq Nasheed hit it right on the head with Microphone Check, because there's a lot of history that the generations don't know after, you know what I'm saying, that period. You know, everybody want to say, okay, this period now, they talking about all these rappers being tethers. That's commercial rap, bro. They trying to push an agenda. That's not real hip hop. Okay, they when, you know what I'm saying, the underground rappers that spitting that real hip hop, they not getting that funding that those big labels is pushing the rappers that you see on TV and on the radio every day. So you got to just broaden your horizon and listen that's out there. But, you know, to me, hip hop is political now. They're trying to push agendas, and you got to look between the lines and see, okay, what are they talking about? What are they rapping about? And what are they pushing? You know what I'm saying? Because most of my favorite rappers, they're not doing that.
Hey, let me ask you a question, brother. I want to ask that New York brother a question. What do you think about what Busta Rhymes said? There's a video going around. Busta Rhymes said, New York, he said, we gotta change the narrative. He said hip hop was born in Jamaica through New York. They're trying to use the New York thing as a narrative. Hold on, man. They're trying to use the New York thing as a narrative to say that, you know, New York is the home of hip hop. What I'm saying is my people were mistreated in New York. A lot of FBAs left New York because of the cost of living, you know, different things. Also, all the bullshit you got to deal with the tethers out there. So at this point, what I'm saying is we need to dethrone New York. No disrespect, but like a lot of people who come from those other groups are using the whole New York thing as a way to state their claim on hip hop.
That's the commercial. That's the commercial side of it, though, bro. That's an agenda.
They got funding. He's talking to. He's talking
but it's
to
still,
me.
it's still a problem. It's still a problem. You know?
Okay, I want Black Samurai to respond to that. Go ahead, Black Samurai.
All right.
Yeah, you got to understand it's millions of dollars, but they put behind agendas and then put it in rap form, and it's on TV. Everything you see on TV and on radio is paid for. The real rapper that got the real struggle, the real truth in his rhyme and trying to put it out there is underground. You have to dig and find that type of hip hop and zone with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that the stuff that you hear every day, that's funded by big business. Now, let's get out the way now, because when you hear, you know, Fat Joe on Matt Hoffa, and that's a whole nother subject. When you see these tethers, and I understand in NYC, the FBA is kind of depleted due to gentrification, because back in the 80s, where you had seen black neighborhoods like Harlem and in certain parts of Brooklyn and Queens, that's not, it's been gentrified. I ain't gonna front. The rent was too high. Most of them got pushed out. The Jersey pushed out, you know what I'm saying, and Pennsylvania, stuff out like that, in the outskirts. Some of them, they even moved upstate New York, Rochester, Buffalo. So you got to understand that New York City has been gentrified also. and also it's been commercialized. So you're going to see sort of fugaziness in the hip hop, but you got to understand that ain't no FBA dollars behind that fugazi stuff that you hear. That's not our money.
Hey, Red,
I like to answer this question because there's a tinge of anti-New York.
Hold on,
Yo, I
hold
want to
on
answer
one
this
second, brothers.
Brooklyn dude.
Hold on 1 second, brothers. Let me hear what Big E had to say.
You got one more in the chat, Red. His name is Hood Sports National. He asking for the link. I think that's his name, Hood Sports National. He's asking for the link.
Okay.
I want to clarify something to Black Samurai, piggybacking off the point Trav was making. I don't think he's talking about, what's real hip hop and underground. We all of a certain age, we all know you got to go dig, especially nowadays, you got to go digging for that quality. But I think what he more alluding to, and I ain't trying to put words in your mouth, so correct me if I'm wrong, Trav, but we had that Dominican brother on the panel the other day saying because he from New York, he got more say on hip hop than a nigga from the Bay like me. And
Exactly.
I couldn't respect that.
I'm not going to allow them.
Can I get in here?
Listen, I'm not going to allow them to disenfranchise. I'm not going to allow them to disenfranchise other FBAs because they're from New York. You're still a Dominican. You're still a Dominican from New York.
Right. No. He was out of pocket for that because some of the immigrants that come into New York City, they get that vibe and they say, "Oh, I live here now," and they want to rep NYC. I get it. But at the end of the day, hip hop is still FBA. At the end of the day, we started it. It's our culture. So you could be from New York, you could be from California, you could be from anywhere. As long as you rep it and it's true, you know what I'm saying? You can't let no out-of-towners or let outside people come in your house and dictate anything. That's ours, no matter what. I don't care if they like it or they want to put some other twang on it. It's still ours from jump because we originated. It's part of us.
So right. Salute to you for recognizing
can I get in here again? Black Samurai, what part of New York you from, brother?
Well, I got family in Harlem. I was born in Buffalo, so I travel back and forth.
You're not from New York, brother.
Yeah. I've been in New York.
You're not from New York.
No, I'm not from New York.
Don't do him like that.
All right.
Hey, listen.
No. Hold on. But I know my people.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, Samurai. What I noticed about New York, a lot of people from the city try to discredit a lot of the upstate brothers from like Rochester, and Buffalo. So that's what I'm hearing going on right now.
No, we've been dealing with that for years, bro. For years, they've been calling us farm. They come up. Listen. They come up here from New York. They come up, this farmland and stuff like that. We just now got, what I'm saying, just like Detroit rap. Buffalo is on the map now. We got some rappers here that can hold it down. Rochester, what I'm saying, they got some rappers that holding it down. So it's been 20 years we've been hearing that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
so you're used to it, brother. You're used to it. And the reason why I said it is because I could tell your accent.
I know. I don't have a New York accent.
Hold on, brother. You've been speaking, brother. Can I rock?
Go ahead.
Can I rock? I'm the only dude out here on here from New York. I'm the only one.
That's not
true.
No,
it's absolutely true right now.
I'm from New
Buffalo
York.
Was not New York. When you talk about hip hop, Buffalo was not New York.
Hold on. Hey, hold on. Both
all right. Salute to Brooklyn.
Hold on, Trav. I
want to answer the brother's question about Busta Rhymes. Okay. I used to talk about
in New York.
I know Trav.
But he's really from Long Island.
Go ahead.
He's really from Long Island.
State of New York.
Now, if you know about the leaders of the new school, he wasn't talking none of that bomba clyde, rah, Jamaican. He wasn't talking none of that with leaders of the new school.
Right.
And there's like this genesis that a lot of these dudes from New York have when they start getting back in touch with their Caribbean roots. Then all of a sudden they feel proud, like he said, I didn't feel proud or I wasn't confident enough to claim my Jamaican roots. So they was tethering as FBA. So Black Americans never really rock with that. And you have to be from the city to understand the young kid boy versus Yardies dynamic. You got to be from the city to understand the Moreno versus Puerto Rican. Okay, so when a brother from Buffalo, and salute to him, he can't cook on it like I can because I was there. I parked my car in the same garage that Busta Rhymes parked his car in. Lenox Road between Ocean and Rogers. That's the hood in Brooklyn where he was from, it was called Little Caribbean. So he came and became this Jamaican after it was cool to be Jamaican. Let me tell you about the Haitians. The Haitians in New York wasn't proud to be Haitian until the Fugees came out, and that's a whole fact. You
Why
see
are
what
they
I'm saying? So,
dominating y'all? That's the question. Why are they dominating y'all? Why do the Dominicans run the prison system? Why do they have more
well, okay, great
than you got?
question. Great question. And you got a lot of smoke for New York, but you said you was gonna give out some work. I'm here for that work. There's no domination. It's a numbers game. And I explained it, and you already spoke on it as well, my brother, saying the FBA left New York. We
Correct.
left. There was a genesis going back to the
They
heart
got
of the
pushed out.
FBA,
They
which
got
is down
pushed
the
out,
south.
brother.
No, we didn't. We didn't get pushed out. You're from Buffalo. We never got pushed out of
But
nowhere.
gentrification and raising the rent, they doing the
Yeah.
same thing here, brother.
Well, that's
No,
what
no.
happened in LA
We
too.
have no.
Hold on real
Hold on
quick. Let me
though.
moderate real quick. Hold on, let me moderate real quick. It's the same thing in LA where a lot of black people have left because of rent and gentrification. They moved out to other places where rent was more affordable. That's why the black population in LA has dropped. So what I'm hearing from him is that's why a lot of the blacks in the inner cities have left, because when the blacks was there, the Bloods dominated. And from what I hear, the Bloods still dominate, even though you got a lot of Dominicans now. It's still the Bloods out there still doing a thing. But Dominicans now are in higher numbers because a lot of FBA have left New York because of the rent increasing, and they can make a better living going somewhere else. Even if they go across the bridge to Jersey or upstate or just back down south, it's the same thing happening in Los Angeles that's happening in New York
Right,
City.
right. It's by
No, it
design, brother.
wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't because we couldn't afford it. Let me explain to y'all. My parents
Not
left
dominating.
New York, left New York and bought a house in Jersey. They bought a house in Jersey. My mom's like, "Damn, there's too many Haitians out here." They were trying to get away from, tethers and a whole bunch of riffraff, so to speak. So they went to Westchester County. They went to Long Island, and then they started going down south. FBA in New York get money. There's a street called it's on 139th between 7th and 8th Avenue. It's called Strivers Road. Millionaires on there. So FBA wasn't broke and priced out of New York City. They didn't like that. We didn't like the way it was going, and a lot of people missed the home of FBA, which was the South. So when you have somebody from there, then I can tell you exactly what it was. Remember, is there somebody from Atlanta over here? Because they can tell you how they had issues with all them New Yorkers going down south. That was part of the genesis to leave. So now
Yeah,
all this gang stuff
I
that we
know
talking
about
about,
that, brother.
I'm gonna land my plane. I'm gonna land my
Yeah,
plane. Hold on, let me land my plane.
yeah.
Um,
Speak for
all
the
this
South.
gang
Go ahead.
stuff we talking about in New York, the Bloods and the Crips, these is all Haitians, Jamaicans, and Trinis, all kind of Caribbeans and Flatbush. A-Trade Gangster Crip is all Haitians. You see what I'm saying? All these Bloods and all of this shit. You got it in New York, you got it in Miami, and you also got it in LA. So it's not a specific New York thing, respectfully.
Right. I understand your perspective and where you're coming from, and I'm not saying I disagree with everything you said. You dropped a lot of facts, but this is what I'm saying. When those people from New Orleans came to Atlanta, I'm gonna tell you what they did in Atlanta. They gave them some straightening. And New Orleans is a real city. New Orleans is one of them rough cities down south. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Charleston, South Carolina, where I'm from, Bad News, VA, cities like that. But the difference is when those people from New Orleans came down to Atlanta, Atlanta got on code. Black Atlanta got on code and set them straight. What I'm saying is what happened with the tethers in New York caused FBA New Yorkers to leave. I'm not happy that happened. I'm not shitting on FBA New York. I love New York. New York got some of my favorite spitters. I love the G Unit mixtapes. I love Reasonable Doubt. I love Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? I love New York. But what I'm saying is, look at the power dynamic. People from New Orleans came to Atlanta, and yeah, they ran them up. And Atlanta set that shit straight. You didn't see a bunch of people from Atlanta leaving. They still got a strong population out there in Atlanta, right? Atlanta just needs to wake up as far as their politics and get off of that liberal coon train. But in New York, Harlem ain't Harlem no more. You know what I'm saying? Harlem ain't Harlem no more. You know what I mean? And I know you know what I'm referring to. Southside, Jamaica, Queens, all these black areas, they're going through gentrification. They're dealing with a tether epidemic. And to speak to what you said, I believe you about the Crips out there being Haitian, because we have the same problem in Minneapolis. In Minneapolis, you got Somalian gangs, gang banging. And when they talk about it on the news, they don't say Somalians. They say black people. They don't say Somalians. They say black people. So what I'm saying is this. I want New York to be New York again. Because I remember you had dudes like Nas, even the 50 Cent mixtapes, Jay-Z. You had a lot of dudes that was spitting game and spitting knowledge. The FBAs out of New York was spitting that real shit. But what I noticed is when hip-hop shifted towards the Tethers, all of these other groups outside of black Americans, New York hip-hop started to become more degenerate. That's when you saw, I'm going to give you an example. I gotta back up my claim, right? That's when you started seeing 6ix9ine, degenerate, Cardi B, degenerate. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Shmurda, degenerate shit. You know what I'm saying? I know the difference between my real New York FBA rap artists and Tethers. So that's the only point I'm making, brother. And if one of y'all can disagree with that point or debunk that point, I welcome you to debunk that point. Somebody take
Hey, let me ask a question to my New York gentleman. I saw somebody in the chat say this. Why is Buffalo, New York not considered I guess hip hop, or why do you consider, and I'm only asking, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But if Buffalo is not one of the 5 boroughs, but it's still in New York, like why is Buffalo, I guess, ostracized for lack of a better word?
Let me give you the 411, man. Anything outside north 10 miles of New York City is considered upstate. Outside of New York, you got Central New York, Western New York. I'm from Western New York. And you can tell by the accent, like the brother said, oh, you from not New York and this and that. Yeah, but I lived in New York for a period of time. So I could tell you my experience. But on the West Coast, like, you know, I'm sorry, on the West side of, you know, New York, we recently, you know, our rap scene, we're coming up, you know what I'm saying? We got some rappers that's out there that's making some noise. And, you know, to me, it's like we've been dealing with this for years and, you know, 20 years, I should say. But outside of New York, we never got no respect, you know what I'm saying? But I can understand now with the market being expanded, it's sort of like a turf thing, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you said you got West Coast, South, and stuff like that. It's sort of like a knee-jerk reaction. When they say New York, everybody think the city. It's not just the city no more. It's the state. You got rappers upstate too. You got, you know, Rochester, Buffalo, but I think it's a respect thing. We just now getting our respect compared to the rap
Let me chime in on that.
Hold on, Trav. Let me bring up Li because he just pulled up, so I want to give him up. Go ahead, Li.
Salute.
What's up? How we doing?
Man, where you from? Where you from, my brother?
New York.
New York. Okay, glad to get you up here. You got it, brother.
Okay, now we can't never say we taking the crown from New York. It started in New York. So you can't
You definitely from New York.
You can't take it from it. Now if you want to say everybody get their turn, yeah, everybody get their turn. Motherfuckers is rapping everywhere. YouTube is here. All these platforms is here. So it's about what you like, you know what I'm saying? Now New York is way down, you know what I'm saying? Got a whole bunch of corny shit going on. Young dudes want to rap like Chicago dudes, and that's going on across the country. If you want to keep it real, you know what I'm saying? I'm just starting to see some original shit come back. You know what I'm saying? And people use their own style. Like I just seen a dude from Tennessee the other day on the debut shit. That shit was dumb hard. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna say New York ain't where it started, and ain't the home of rap. Cause all the icons besides Kanye West is from New York.
Oh, come on.
No, you can't say that. You putting too much sauce on it.
You're reaching.
I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. But
let me chime in.
Hold on. I gotta bring up John Jay. I gotta bring up John Jay because he's from New York. Hold on, bro. I gotta bring up John Jay. He's from New York. Go ahead, John Jay.
Well, see, the problem is, and New Yorkers, it's like the brother was just saying, that's a New York mentality. You ain't taking the crown from us, all the icons.
New York
And that's
City.
why New Yorkers get a lot of hate, like what Big E was saying earlier on the podcast, because it's hard for a New Yorker, especially when it comes to rap music or whatever, to give props or respect to other groups that influence it. That's just a New York mentality. And anybody that say I'm lying, you know I
Some
ain't.
of them New York cats was disrespect because I remember some Buffalo cats,
Well,
man. They
yeah,
was
I'm
calling
about
us
to
farm
speak on
boys
that.
and shit like that.
Well, see, even from dudes from
Apple
Buffalo,
picking it.
Rochester, Syracuse, all them areas, New Yorkers in the five boroughs don't even consider that New York. And
But
not
listen,
even,
outside of New York State, outside of New York City, the second largest black population is in Buffalo, New York,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, definitely. I give you that. But I'm just saying the mentality is what's leading to all of the New York hate. And New Yorkers in the boroughs have brought it on themselves. They didn't even respect New Jersey until New Jersey just beat it out of a lot of New Yorkers. They just, hey, we've Jersey. We don't give a
Right.
F about New
Still don't
York.
respect
And
The
Jersey.
brick.
Jersey's a
yeah,
bunch of bums that live in a
yeah.
lot
Well,
of New
see,
York.
there you
No one
go.
respects
But
Jersey.
see, well, there you go. But you go over there to Newark, you cross that George Washington Bridge
George
with that, and see
Washington
what
Bridge.
yeah,
Yeah.
see what happened. You don't say that. And here's the point: the boroughs
The George
don't
Washington
even.
Bridge is for
Hold
upper
on, let John Jay.
northern Jersey.
Hold on.
All right,
Let
brother.
John
I'm
Jay.
sorry. My bad.
Hold on, brother.
And
I'm gonna let
and
John Jay finish, and I'm gonna let you come up too, bro.
and the boroughs don't really like each other. Brooklyn niggas don't like Bronx niggas. Queens niggas, this, Harlem. But the only time they'll get on code is when a New Yorker go out of town. The first thing he gonna do is go to a sports store and get him a New York fitted. And he see another New York fitted in Miami or well, man, you from New York? Yeah, I'm from the Bronx. Oh, what's up, dog? And they'll get on code out of town, but they get back to New York. They really won't rock with each other. Like that's just New York, and that's just how it is. So a lot of the New York hate that you hearing, New Yorkers got a whole L for we brought it on ourselves. We go out of town. Even Puffy said it in a song. You can spot us out of town by the way that we walk, the way that we talk, cocky the state of New York. That's true. It's 100% true. We'll go to small town. Oh, y'all ain't got this in your here. In New York, we got everything. Y'all don't know about no Timberlands, and we'll do that. That's the other groups, other areas just got tired of it. It came to a head when the West Coast came into the game. They were like, look, we gave y'all all these props for so many years. You never played our music on the radios out there. We will always play y'all stuff out here. And then it led to what it led to. But we all are foundational black America. I don't care if you're from the West Coast, down south, East Coast, Midwest, whatever. So we need to start just staying back on code and getting on code. And that's what this platform at best is doing. And
We want New York to get on code. Yeah, we want New York to get on code.
Yeah,
New York is a lost cause from a
What you
brother
mean?
who loves New York. Let me get off of here because I got to jump on the train
Go
real
ahead,
quick.
brother.
But
You got it.
New
You got
York is a lost cause. Chalk New York up as a loss. Forget New York. And I love New York. It's overrun. We don't have nothing up there no more. So everything that you're seeing, it ain't us. So chalk it up as a lost cause. But those who are blessed to still be from New York, you know what I'm saying? We have a certain swag about us, certain arrogance. And let me break down New York for you. Wherever you from, that's the best part of New York. So Brooklyn dudes don't rock with the Bronx dudes, don't rock with Harlem. Harlem and Bronx kind of rock with each other. Queens got the shorties, and Staten Island is insignificant. That's how we look at it.
Long
Yeah,
Island
that's
got their own problems.
yeah, 100%.
Let me ask
That's
y'all
exactly
something.
what
Let
it
me
is.
ask you something. Hold on. Let me ask you. I like how you said that because I noticed that when people are talking about the boroughs, I don't even think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Like you said, I don't never hear Staten Island get their props. What's up with Staten Island? How come they never get props?
Wu-Tang.
Because
It's off to the side.
they're out of the way. They're out of the
Yeah.
way. You got to take a boat to get there. You meet a shorty from Macy's. You're all from Staten Island. You ball her number up. You meet a
Yeah.
shorty from Brooklyn and Macy's, and she said, "Yeah, come to my project." They try to rob
No.
you. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of shit in New York that you got to be from New York to know. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And I'm
okay.
telling you, I'm 51, right? But I lived on the West Coast too. I moved to Highland Park, Los Angeles in like 81 to 85. And that neighborhood turned out to be anti-black when I left. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that
Yeah.
way when I was there. But at this point, New York is a lost cause. You know what I'm saying? So That's all I'm gonna say. We can't be banging on each other as FBA. Sorry for the brother from Buffalo, but I couldn't let that Buffalo. You can't tether on to New York City from
I'm
Buffalo,
not
brother.
telling,
I'm
bro. I
sorry.
got family. I got family in New York too, bro.
Nah,
I want to hear. I want
I'm
to. I want
here,
to hear
bro.
what. I want to hear
It
what
was
Li
fucked
got
up.
to say about this because he's from New York too, man. So go ahead, Li.
Nah, he writing on that though. Like New York walks right now. It's fucked up there right now. It's a lot different than when I grew up, and kind of feel bad for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's different. It's real expensive up here for no reason, and anybody who fucking from New York who want to come back here, you want to come back here for no reason. It ain't shit going on. Uh, yeah, you make a shitload of money, but you pay a shitload of money to live here. So yeah, it's a lost cause.
Hey, Li, before we pass the mic, I got a question for you, homie. You really, you really came up here and said, outside of Kanye West, all the big rap icons, and we talking about for the past 50 years of hip hop, they all from New York. You ain't gonna give nobody on the West or down
Like,
South no props.
of course, Eminem from Detroit, Ice
No,
Cube.
wow.
Not
I
what
said,
I'm
I
saying.
said from the
You got,
West Coast or
you got,
down South. You brought
You
up
got
Eminem.
people from New York.
you
That's
got
the
Dre,
problem.
Dre,
Y'all so much.
Atlanta.
Man.
You got some icons.
That's
You
why
know
we
what I'm
got to
saying?
dethrone New
Other
York, man.
places.
Hold on. Let Li respond. Go ahead, bro.
With Birdman and them dead. You know what I'm saying? Cash Money and them. Yeah, nah. It's a lot of places that I respect in the rap culture. You know what I'm saying? So nah. Like I said, New York is down on the chart when it comes to rap right now. I like hearing other motherfucking accents. You know what I'm saying? But now when you want to go to some raw shit and go to freestyles, you know what I'm saying? You catch an underground motherfucker from out here, probably stomp you out. But now the niggas who giving it like the old New Yorkers is the niggas from Buffalo, the butcher and them. So you gotta respect them. But niggas give LI a problem too. But it's legends from LI. Like you said, Buster. Uh the nigga with the
Public Enemy.
one eye shit. With all the change and shit, with the fuck nigga Slick Rick and all of them. Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, hold
LI
on,
did his
man.
thing.
Is Benny the Butcher? Benny the Butcher is from Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Benny from Buffalo.
Y'all got the nerve to try to play Buffalo? Because right now, I'm gonna be honest, Benny the Butcher is one of the few artists that actually remind us of that
Of New York.
grimy era in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a fact. I gotta agree with that. He brought that New York swag back, man.
Right.
Outside of that,
But
all I can think of as far as the five boroughs is like maybe Dave East. You know, Dave East got that. He got that New York thing. But I'm gonna be honest, like they lacking in New York, man. And that's no disrespect. New York is the home of the spitters. I'll say this as far as freestyles, and everybody from every region can agree with this because we got love for New York. We love when we would see a New York rap artist go in the booth with Big Tigger. Y'all remember Rap City?
Yeah.
Like, man, those are classic freestyles, man. Cameron, G Unit.
yeah,
So we got love for New York, but what we saying to y'all is New York, FBA New York, stand up and do it the FBA way. Because when you do it
like
the
you say,
FBA way,
it ain't that no more, man. These young niggas, these youngest niggas is far from that, dog.
No, you're right. You're right. New York City, y'all got a good foundation. If y'all want to really bring that style back, y'all could. But like you said, the younger generation, they on a different wave, and I'm thinking they copying that Chicago style too much, man.
Yeah.
You know what
Too
I'm
much
saying?
drill.
They thinking they didn't try that little Dirk style, but that little Dirk style that works in the Midwest. That's not gonna work on the East Coast.
Y'all
Yeah,
fuck with
it's
the
too
white
many
boy,
drill, man. It's too much
the white boy
drill.
movement.
And I like real New York rap. I'm gonna pass it to y'all, and I'm gonna bring up 20 East, and I'm gonna let Li finish. I'm gonna pass it to 20 East. But one thing I don't like is how New York adapted to drill culture. We like New York music. I don't want to see New York niggas rapping like Chicago. But go ahead, Li.
That's facts right there. That's facts. New York need to go back to being original, but like I said, these young dudes want to be Chicago because they blew Chicago up on the internet and made it a fairy tale land when them dudes just extinct themselves during the Obama era. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thought that shit was cool. They
Major
they hyped that shit up so much on the internet. Oh, This person got 30 bodies. This person, that shit's come on, dog. Come on. And motherfuckers really believing this shit. So you got people like the little kids, like my kid, when King Von died, he crying. I cried when Tupac died, but Tupac was right real music, Dead Mama. King Von shit was real too. And King Von shit was wrong. So I'm not gonna say King Von music, but King Von whole background was negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything was, bro.
What
I gotta
nothing
agree.
positive really behind that.
Can
So
I ask y'all a question, Sean?
Go,
it's a failure
20,
to the youth.
go ahead, 20s. You got it, 20s.
He from
20s.
Georgia.
So what?
Go ahead,
What
20s.
years y'all trying?
Georgia.
What?
You low, you real low,
What
20s,
years
but
y'all
you
trying
got
to
it, brother.
blame New York? Can you hear me now? You can hear
Okay,
me now?
say
I'm
something.
good.
Your volume is low, like you really, really low, champ.
All right,
6'9" not New York.
Go ahead. Let me find some
Okay, go ahead.
headphones. Y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
I was trying to get your perspective, man. Your volume was just real low. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Look, can y'all hear me? You can't hear me,
Yeah,
Sean?
go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
All right, bet. So what years y'all trying to blame New York for? Like, give me a time frame.
I don't think nobody was blaming New York like that. We just saying, you know, it's certain things y'all kind of dropped the ball on the FBA thing and not being solid on that, and letting the Tethers have more claim to hip hop than your brothers from other regions. That's it.
Okay, so like we all know Black history in America. So like New York is where the immigrants first came in off rip at the beginning of this shit. So how I'm thinking now, it couldn't have been like we got a black population in New York, but them immigrants probably outnumbered them niggas by hundreds of thousands. So look how long it took us to realize the difference between FBA and niggas from Africa and the islands now. They probably didn't know that them niggas wasn't niggas. So shit just got slid by and they just accepted it because they thinking, oh, if black people going along with it, we can go along with it. But I don't think we need to put all the blame on the FBA niggas from New York. Because that's where immigrants first start coming in this country. Them niggas had to be outnumbered and were confused.
No, they wasn't out. They wasn't always out. They
Yeah, I
outnumbered now.
disagree with that.
They outnumbered now, but there was a time when FBA, and this is what I don't like. I don't like how people downplay that New York FBA population. Like we had a strong population of Black Americans in New York City. You know what I mean? And now when we have this conversation, it seems like the people from the immigrant groups had more stake in New York City than actual FBAs. FBAs made that whole New York swag that came from FBAs. You know what I mean?
FBA, yeah,
But you gotta think about it, brother, man. When Public Enemy was out and they made that video "Fight the Power," it been so much things that happened since 1991 till now. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of
okay, cause look,
gentrification,
like
a whole
I'm
lot of
34.
institutional racism, bro. That played
I'm
factors.
34, so
Yeah, but let me bring up.
I'm in the
Hold on,
A,
let me
so
bring up Yoda, man. Let me bring up
go ahead,
Yoda because I'm pretty
go ahead.
sure he gonna drop some wisdom too, man. Yoda, you got it, my brother. Where you from?
Midwest, bro.
Midwest. I appreciate you, brother. Go ahead and
Yeah,
drop.
right
You
outside
got
of
it.
right
Hey,
outside of
salute to you, champ. Salute to you.
Right on, brother. You know what? Let me bring this to the discussion. I'm enjoying the discussion, and I'm so glad that cats, you guys age. You guys are mainly Gen X, I presume, and so I'm
Well,
that.
millennials and mixed with some millennials, mixed with some, a couple Gen Xers.
Okay,
Yeah.
solid. I'm enjoying this because finally, you're kind of fighting back at the idiocy that's taking place in rap music, and I really appreciate that. And you're coming after the Fat Joe dude because he said some things that should never be said in private company, in public company, to be sure. But I want to bring the conversation to this. Yes, New York definitely has a state of mind that sometimes is a bit over the top. Because something about New York is you can't come to Chicago or some other cities if people that don't even know each other yelling at each other across the street, slinging insults. You can't do that in the Midwest. But that's a whole nother story. Let me get to the real point. Musically, the elephant in the room that's glaringly missing in this discussion is the credit really needs to be given because it's called rap music, right? Hip hop is a culture based around rap music. Because if not, it would just be rap. It'd just be a beat poetry, or you would just be speaking, right? But music is the predicate. Music is the basis, and none of that music came from New York. All of that music you sample. Should I go down the list, gentlemen?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. What time
J-
period?
the birth of hip hop, bro. Where did he get those records from?
Oh
Let's
yeah,
be,
yeah, yeah. A lot
you're
of James
talking
Brown.
James
you,
Yeah,
you,
Brown,
you're
yeah.
talking to an old
James Brown.
you're talking to an OG now, okay?
Hmm.
I'm before hip hop. In the Midwest, it was no hip hop when I graduated from high school, okay? But there was James Brown. There was the Jackson
James
5. There
motherfucking
was
Brown.
Stevie Wonder. There was the Commodores. There was the Elements of the Universe, Earth, Wind, and Fire. There were all of these groups, Sly and the Family Stone. Man, one of them came from New York. But New York sampled them, didn't they?
Yeah, they sampled the hell out of them.
So from my generation, you need to respect your elders. None of
I
them do
understand. I understand.
none of them hip hop dudes went to the studio with instruments or vocals and made those records. Those brothers had to make those records at great expense. Expense that was taken out of their recoupables and they ended up broke. So that's a whole nother issue. But the point is they were in the studio putting in work, designing, arranging, producing, and you grabbed a record and you picked the choice spots. I'm going to give you credit for that, but you didn't give those ancestors and predecessors their due respect. So I'm speaking to those cats. There is no rap greater than "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." Maybe we're going to get to that now that you're aware of FBA. We might
Yeah.
get to a rapper. We might get to a rapper that gets to that station, and I'll be glad when that happens. But as of now, there's no rap as powerful as "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." I was about 12 years old when that came out. It changed our lives.
Yeah,
Say
I
it.
Yeah.
spoke
it
on.
and
Hey, I
he's
spoke on that. I spoke on that in the beginning of the podcast. It made you proud to be who you are.
Yes,
That
sir.
song brought a sense of pride to black people.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Like Public Enemy. Like to me, those groups. It was a positive. It pushed a positive image of black people in FBA in hip hop. Right.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
got to understand, there was a big agenda to kill that hip hop off and push gangster rap.
Yeah,
Push that number one.
listen, the
Let
secret
the white
meeting,
man
the
control shit.
so-called, the proverbial secret meeting. Let's cut to the chase, young man. The so-called proverbial secret meeting. Okay, scared them brothers out of it.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
let's get
Yeah.
to the modern day. Let's get to the modern day.
Let the elder
This,
speak, y'all. Let him speak. I'm sorry, Yoda. I didn't mean to cut him, but everybody pause for a second and let the elder speak because this ain't MSNBC. This ain't CNN. We respect black men on this platform.
yes,
So
sir.
I'm gonna let him. Y'all let him cook, and then we'll speak on what he says
Rock
afterwards.
out,
Go.
do your thing.
Yes, sir. The thing is this: it originated with the originators. Okay, James Brown. Not only was he a great singer and arranger and producer, instrumentalist, this dude was a lyricist, okay? And his lyrics spoke to our people. See, you guys are kind of young when you remember James Brown going off in his latter years, shooting a shotgun, this, that, and the other. His band got kind of corny after the fact. It was a kind of a corny band near, living in America. That ain't James Brown. That ain't James Brown, bruh. The James Brown is the cat. Every one of us tried to learn how to do the James Brown. That's where Michael Jackson and Prince come from, because they're my age, right? May they rest in power. We grew up with that lineage, okay? Amidst Jim Crow and lynching and all kind of assassinations. This is where we come from. The music, but black music then transmuted the ugliness and the racism and the classism, we transmuted it into beauty. This is what the great elements of the universe, Earth, Wind, and Fire did. It ain't about September, fellas. Y'all need to read their deep lyrics. You need to read their real stuff. Mighty Mighty was so deep. Mighty Mighty, okay, was so deep. The record companies told the great Maurice White, arguably the greatest producer to ever live, you know, in there with Quincy Jones and some of the tops. They told Brother Maurice, hey, Maurice, that's kind of a black militant song. And Maurice said, it's not black militant, it's about empowerment. And empowerment, we need empowerment. Okay? Mighty, mighty. They try to scare him out of it. Go back and read their songbook, not them big hits. Some of them, yes. Go back and read the Elements of the Universe songbook. Okay? I did a lecture, and I'm definitely going to land a plane here. I did a lecture in a high school a few years ago, and the subject got on lyrics and music. I'm a vocalist and producer, etc., but I came up there to speak. I said, so I'm not going to sing this, but I'm going to recite these lyrics to you from Magic Mind, from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay. Take a chance as you dance in romance, in a trance, to advance and expand. Got a dime and a rhyme. Brilliant mind, still inclined in your prime to design. For man's great strength to reach, another trembling heart's defeat. We read between the lines, 'cause change of mind is hard to find. Take a chance as you dance in romance, in a trance, to advance and expand. Got a dime and a rhyme. Brilliant mind, still inclined in your prime to design. And here's the last verse. The blossoms that you reap from binding challenges complete, and wisdom's gentle rain immensely crowns the brain. That's the Elements of the Universe, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Man, hey man, that was dope, man. I appreciate you for
Thank you,
laying
brother.
that.
Thank you.
I want to say something real quick, yo. I want to say
Go ahead,
something.
go ahead. I want him to finish. Go ahead. I'm gonna let him get his spiel, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Trav.
Again, and the last word here is, at that assembly that I was speaking at, it surprised me. Those kids gave me a standing ovation. I said, give the props to the Elements of the Universe.
Yeah,
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
appreciate that, brother. That was well said, man. We
Right
need
on,
to hear
man.
that.
Thank you.
Right?
Salute, fellas. Great discussion. I'm loving this. In New York, y'all need to back up, or you need to check your boy out there. Check him. Check him. Check that dude. Check that dude. He's way wrong. He cannot say nigger. You understand, fellas? He can't say it.
I'm with you.
Hell no, they can't.
All right.
So,
hey, fellas, yeah.
The
Appreciate
South
you, bro.
own hip hop anyway.
Appreciate you. Hey, old school. I just wanted to say something. I really appreciate you. We all appreciate you coming up here, and salute to Red again. I want people to know that this message is actually not only resonating with our generation, millennials and Gen X's. Some of the elders are actually tuning in.
Right on. That's right.
And they're learning. And not only that, we're learning. It's a give and take situation.
It is.
I'm learning from him, and salute to the elders that are not so arrogant or so stubborn to the point where they're not willing to lend their ear and learn, because we all gain from this, y'all.
Yes.
We can learn from this gentleman. We can learn from Yoda, and he's tuned in, so he's learning from us. And what we're doing is we're trying to fix that disconnect. You see what I'm saying? Hey, and I want to say this, Elder. I'm impressed that you know about that meeting.
Yes, sir, man.
The meeting that took place where we had that shift from, more positive hip hop to all the higher ups pretty much mandated that they want to push degeneracy in hip hop. That was the new mandate. You know what I mean? So salute to you, and we appreciate you showing up. That's all I want to say, brother.
Right on, brother.
Let me piggyback off what Trav was saying, man. It's definitely refreshing to hear and see an OG pull up and get on these discussions, man. Because us, we mostly like Red was saying, some millennials, some Gen X. We don't know everything, so I appreciate that knowledge, man. I definitely remember dancing at my grandmama's house to "Say It Loud." I'm black and I'm proud. Yeah,
real,
so you brought some heat on that. Now, we done had all the coast, all the different regions of the USA represented in all different age groups, man. So like Trav was saying, man, we can all learn from each other. We all got a slightly different perspective, and it's constructive, man. I want to see Black man FBAs out here building and building each other up and getting a a higher level of understanding. So, hey, salute to OG. Shout out Yoda. I might change my name to Luke Skywalker, my name, because you was dropping knowledge. Let's go.
Right on. Thank you, man.
Well,
Salute.
look,
Much
brothers,
respect. Much
I'm gonna
respect.
let
And Red,
everybody go.
Red
Go ahead, bro.
Supreme, much respect to you, Red Supreme. You know,
Appreciate
you're doing it out here, man. You're doing it. And you know, the fact that you gave Lord Jamar his props, you reached, 2,000, 3,000 miles away to say, okay, that brother, he's on something, and that other Tariq or whatever that cat's name. So that's a salute to you, Red, because your mind was open enough to pick up that vibration. So, so peace and blessings to all of you guys, man. Stay on it, man. Stay on it. Right on.
Appreciate you, brother. Anytime, man. You welcome. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let everybody go one by one, and we're gonna close. So whoever wanna go first, man, you got it.
Productive discussion, y'all. I mean, it's going to get passionate. People are going to be passionate about this issue. So, kind of have a little understanding, if people get a little passionate about it. You know what I mean? It don't matter the group, but I think that we have a right to be a little more passionate about it because nobody is trying to steal nothing from all these other groups of people. They've already stolen everything that we've come up with. So, y'all can't be mad that we trying to gatekeep now. You know what I mean? That just is what that is. You know what I mean? It's a new day. Like Lord Jamar said, we the new FBA. It ain't like the old FBA. So it's a new day now. You know what I mean? And it just seemed like a lot of these groups are just not used to us trying to stand on something because we have never stood on nothing before this. We all pretty much been punked out, whatever the situation was, and we let it go by the wayside. But now on this issue here, we like, nah, we ain't letting this go by the wayside. We created it, period. And we standing on that. And it seemed like it's a shock to the rest of the world. Now, that's what it seems. It don't matter what they say. Like you got other groups trying to question us. Well, they wasn't FBA. It ain't for you to worry about what we call ourselves. That ain't for you to decide. If we want to say we FBA, who the hell are y'all? You know what I'm saying? You don't get to tell us what label we want to use. You don't get to tell us we cannot separate ourselves from y'all. That's not for y'all to decide. That's for us to decide. And now we're deciding to take our power back. We taking our ball and going home. And that's just it. And I'm going to land with that. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day.
Salute, Big E. Salute.
And let me piggyback on Big E. Now I'm arrested here. To me is one thing about FBA that MLK Martin Luther King taught us. If somebody act like they don't like you, you ain't got to spend your money with them. You can keep your FBA dollars in your FBA pockets. And I don't know what other people are saying, but FBA spending power is around $11 billion. We outspend all the other demographics, hands down. So if they want to play nice, get these dollars. But if you don't, you're gonna be broke and you're gonna be like Busta Rhymes making Walmart commercials. They didn't tell you. I don't know what y'all. I know y'all heard when as soon as he did that earlier, this year or whatever. I think he was doing second to Missy Elliott. He couldn't sell out none of his first concert. They ain't even give him a chance. So let that be an example to all the non-FBA entertainers. Keep your mouth shut when you're talking about FBA, because now we starting to wake up. And one thing for sure, that our spending power is the biggest in this country. So if you want to start playing games, we can start playing games too. And I big ups to all FBA for standing up. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, back in the day, we didn't have a voice. Now we got a voice, and now we coming together. And the other non-FBA people, they getting up in arms. They're like, oh, they thought we was stupid. They thought they could play us. No, you can't play FBA, man. Not today. So shoot out to you, Supreme. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. keep it up, because we got to speak out, because our voices got to be heard at the end of the day. Now, I salute y'all.
CJ Rich, you got it?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey, shout out Black Samurai. That was a word. And like I said, salute to Yoda, man. It was just refreshing to see an elder come up here, man. Probably like my mama age. So that was real spit he was putting down. Trav, you be speaking a lot of truth, man. I ain't seen you on here too much until recently, but I always enjoy these back and forths we have, because you're very passionate. You got a lot to say, and goddamn 95% of it is on point. So ain't nobody going to agree 100% of the time. But man, I really enjoy your presence on these panels. So I wanted to give you a special shout out, just like Big E.
I
All right.
appreciate you as well, brother. Like, I gained a lot. I learned a lot from your commentary as well. And you're level-headed, you're reasonable, you're objective. And I appreciate that. And I want brothers to know there's nothing wrong with you paying homage to and respect to another brother, because if CJ Rich looks good, that makes me look good. If you guys understand the way that people see us. When Red looks good and Red is doing his thing and Red is keeping it thorough, that makes all FBA men look good. Whether we like it or not, the things that we do as individuals affect our image as a whole, y'all. So I appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I look forward to seeing you do more commentary on here. We need all the soldiers we can get. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna definitely be back. My life situation is changing for the upcoming year, but we got to keep on growing and moving forward. So yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be I like to cam up, but sometimes I just ain't feeling up to it. But yeah, I respect that. And he did right. He hit the nail on the head, man. Our image in this country depends on each other, so you can't downgrade another brother and expect to look better because of it. We all gotta uplift each other. I know that might sound corny to some of y'all, but as a man in my 40s now, almost 41, developing wisdom, he right about that, man. Whenever you look good, I'll look good. I'll look better. You know what I mean? We got to rise as a collective. And I think that's what this whole FBA thing is all about overall. We clicking up. I don't give a fuck if the shit just came out a month ago. The term, we understand what it means. It's a lineage. It's us identifying ourselves, delineating, not for hatred, not to strictly for separation, but just to have something to claim as our own. And we understand we got common ground, and you got to be able to have common ground to have an agenda and move forward, man. So that's all I really got to say for today. I got a lot of shit to get to, but man, really enjoyed this panel. It's one of the best ones you had, Rez. So again, shout out to you. Salute Trav, salute Big E, and the rest of the panel. All y'all haters in the chat need to get down and lay down, man, because we pushing this shit forward. Hey.
Appreciate you, CJ Rich, man. Bring them home, Trav. Go ahead and bring them home, bro.
For sure. Hey, listen, man. Shout out to the whole FBA family. It's FBA all day. We are not a group. We represent a lineage of people. So y'all can go ahead and stop trying to cultivate your FBI case. We went through this before, and we've learned. We represent a lineage of people. And I appreciate what my man Big E said. You don't get to label us and define who we are. We've already been through that. We've had to walk around with the label nigger, African American. We didn't even agree to that. Jesse Jackson put that in play. Rest in peace to him. Shout out to him. But that was a mistake that Jesse Jackson made, right? So we finally found a label that's dignified and respectful. And that label actually helps us state our claim on what belongs to us. So we're going to double down on the FBA talk. We're going to push this. You know what I mean? So another thing I want to say as well, man, I appreciate everybody that came on the panel, even if you had a different perspective. When you come on the Red Supreme show, y'all, it's raw, it's uncut. This is a totally organic platform. Red ain't got BET sponsoring him, the coon, like how Fat Joe got BET sponsoring him. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to start holding these companies accountable as well. Ain't that ironic? We got a foundational Black American man here spitting real game, but corporate white America, BET, they choose to fund Fat Joe, and Fat Joe degrades us. And you got brothers just like this, not only Red, we got brothers all over YouTube, all over. with these organic platforms that actually give a damn about you. They actually care about their people. So what I'm saying is we got to support these brothers, man. We got to support them. I am not subscribed to MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, none of it. Even if I watch it, they get no subscription and no like from me, right? We are not going to give any entity any support that does not support foundational Black Americans. Like I said, y'all, millennials, we different. It's time to bring back some balance, right? No more one-sided relationships, right? We're not suckers. We don't do one-sided relationships. We don't advocate for people who don't advocate for us. You know what I mean? And we won't allow anyone to claim anything that belongs to us. I don't care if it hurts their feelings. People have been hurting our feelings for a long time now, right? So I want y'all to continue to stand on FBA business. And I want to say this, man, shout out to the Bay. Shout out to Buffalo. You know what I mean? Y'all show love to some of these smaller cities. You got a lot of riders in some of these smaller cities. You know what I'm saying? Compton is a city within itself. And Compton packs a strong punch. You know what I'm saying? So
Easy E put Compton on the map because even me being from LA, I didn't know where Compton was. You know, I'm from South Central, the West Side. So, you know, and Compton was originally a suburb. A lot of people don't know that. Compton was a suburb. It wasn't even a ghetto. It was a suburb that blacks wasn't even allowed to live in if you go back to the 60s. So, but a lot of people don't know that.
Absolutely. You spitting real game. But Compton is known worldwide. They know about Compton in Thailand. So what I'm saying, y'all, is look at it like this. People from different cities and different regions, they FBA. I just look at Red like that's my West Coast FBA brother. And I'm interested in learning the culture. He gonna show me his city, show me what they eat, show me how niggas do it, how real ones do it in LA. And I'm gonna bring him to Charleston, South Carolina, and I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna play host. I'm gonna make sure he's straight. We don't need to be beefing about our regions, our cities, our flags. Look at it like those are your FBA brothers and sisters from a different region. You know what I mean? That's how we got to play it. Because people know that when we link up, I want y'all to understand this. When FBAs show solidarity and we link up, motherfuckers start sweating. People start to get nervous because we pack a punch when we united. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna land my plane with this, man. Also, I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. Condolences and rest in peace to the people that passed away in the shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York. Shout out to Buffalo. You know what I mean? And shout out to NYC. Y'all know what time it is, NYC. Y'all not above critique. We gonna critique you, but everybody know what time it is with New York City. Come on, y'all good at what y'all do. Some of the best rap artists of all time come out of New York City. And New York City is definitely a very significant place in American culture, period. So shout out to New York City. You know what I'm saying? But it's time to spread that love, y'all. Let's spread that love among all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because we all brothers and sisters. I'm going to say this, man. FBA all day. Keep your foot on the gas and keep your foot on their necks. Bring them home, Red.
Yeah, appreciate you, Trav, for sure. And with Buffalo, New York, man, it was a brother from Buffalo, New York that got killed who created a motor that runs underwater. You know, and unfortunately, he lost his life in that shooting. So we want to say rest in peace to all the brothers in New York City who lost their lives by that white supremacist who went in a grocery store in Buffalo, New York, a grocery store in the black community, and he opened fire. Same thing that happened in Florida. I believe it was 2022 or maybe the beginning of 23. It was a white supremacist in Jacksonville, Florida, who went into a Dollar General, shot up a Dollar General full of black people in Jacksonville, Florida, you know, and unalived several innocent black people, right? And they found his manifesto, and he was a white supremacist. Now, every time something happens like that, they want to make it seem like he was a lone wolf and he acted on his own. Don't believe that. There's a whole group and a coalition that's backing these white supremacists when it comes to their actions. Why do you think when they go to jail, they got a funding where people put millions of dollars behind these people to support them financially to get them up out of prison? The same way that the white guy in New York City, I believe it was New York City, that choked out that he was mentally challenged, man. The guy that was in New York on the subway, and the white guy who choked him out got off. He got out of jail. He got out of prison. He was acquitted. He was acquitted of all charges. That's because the white community backed him financially. They put millions of dollars up for his legal defense, and he was found not guilty. So those are the things that we got to shed light on. And I want to say this before I get up out of here, man. Shout out to everybody that supported the Cash App. Shout out to Gold Professor for blessing the Cash App. I appreciate you, Gold Professor. Shout out to Theodore. Shout out to Theodore for blessing the Cash App. Shout out to E-Man for blessing the Cash App. And shout out to Clan B for blessing the Cash App as well. Shout out to my girl Trinity for blessing the Cash App. Shout out to Tiffany for blessing the Cash App. I didn't want to forget nobody. So shout out to everybody who supported today's show. We got more content coming. We just getting started, baby. We're going to get bigger. We're going to get better. And we're going to elevate those numbers. And we're going to continue to spread the message. Peace, love, and blessings. Giving y'all game to keep y'all from stressing. It's your Play Upon the Red Supreme. Make sure that you like the stream on your way out. I'm gone. Peace to the FBA. And we're going to get up out of here, man. I'm out. Salute.